Well, hello everyone. Talk about right here. I've talked about for that, President Biden's speech right here, but talking about right here, what does it usually mean whenever somebody says not yet? And a lot of times it sure seems that way that you hear that a lot of times whenever it comes to maybe having a conversation with somebody about anything really, but still that let's just say if one of those conversations is maybe going to be about is toward a hey that you know, yeah, if it's maybe if it is inflation or if it's infant structure or something like that, but still that a lot of times your 102 is to where that every time you ask a question about something, and maybe let's just say if it's about taxes or if it is about maybe the economy or something like that, that most of the time what you usually hear is something like not yet. A lot of things I'm like, yeah, it's not yet. Mark for like, yeah, talk about for $2.99 extra or something like that. So really, that what does it usually mean whenever somebody says not yet, and you want to know too is toward okay, yeah, not yet. Not yet pretty much means is toward it yeah, that cup of coffee right there, it's there. It's there, but it's not ready. It's not ready to be served yet, or like everybody might say, that it's there, but it's waiting for confirmation. You'll just know that okay, what's on the inside of that cup of coffee or something like that. So yeah, so not yet could mean a number of things, right? And so that's why it seems that way to where that each time you do think about that, by the way, and you're warned to where that yeah, not yet, pretty much means as to where that more information is soon to come. It's coming soon information, and most of the time, in case of anybody's 102, is to where that not yet pretty much means is to where that more details, more information is soon to come, but it's not yet to be released. And so that's why it seems that way is to where that every time you may listen to anybody, like maybe if it's the president or anybody making a speech about something, and your 102 is to where they, yeah, not yet. Yeah, well, it's not ready yet, or something like, not available to know yet, or something like that. But still, that whenever it comes to applications, by the way, in case if we're all 102, whenever it comes to job assessments, and maybe whenever it does come to applications, and maybe whenever it does come to forms, they don't want to hear not yet. And so that's why it seems that way to where that each time I look at these articles right here in 102 is to where that yeah, that maybe not everybody is going to want to hear not yet, whenever it comes to trying to get the job done. They don't want to hear not yet. Is this a cup of coffee ready to be served yet? Well, maybe not yet, or something like that. So that's why it seems that way to where that every time you do think about that, by the way, in your 102 is to where that, yeah, that, maybe in case of anybody's 102 is to where that, if you're going to be working on anything really, that you would maybe 102 is to where that, yeah, go ahead and show some progress of what was made so far, but still, you made, so you show some progress of what was done already, and then that way you'll be able to know as to what, okay, yeah, that whenever it comes to something that you were working on, and maybe if you weren't able to finish all what you were doing, from before, but still that so it sure seems that way that whenever you do say something like not yet, that pretty much means is toward it it's coming soon. It hasn't happened yet. It's not available to know just yet. So that's why it seems that way toward it whenever we do think about that in 102. But the problem is, of course, is that yeah, that whenever we do talk about not yet, a lot of times, and everybody may want to know too, as to what it could that possibly mean, as to where that more information is yet to be provided. And a lot of times it sure seems that way. That yeah, in case if anybody's wanting to know too, that more information is yet to be provided, or whichever. But still, if we're going to be talking about homework or of any kind, for sure that I'm sure everybody would say that yeah, more information is yet to be provided, and but still that when we do talk about not yet, that do you necessarily think as to where that yeah that it's there, the information is there, but it's not yet been decided on, or maybe if it's not yet confirmed yet, or if it's soon to come, or something like that. Soon, it's coming soon. Stuff like that. Usually, yeah. In case of anybody's want to know too, not yet is another word or phrase as to where it's coming soon. It's there, but it's not ready, and so that's why it seems that way to where that. When we do talk about any agendas that we do have in mind, though, whenever it comes to working on something, working on progress, and you're thinking as to where that, okay, yeah, do you think that when we do speak about not yet, doing it, not yet, for a complete sentence, right? And you want to know too as to where that, how should you phrase that as to where that, yeah, that we are close. We are close, but not yet. We are close, but not yet. We are close, but not yet. So really, that yeah, we are close, but we are close, but not yet. So really, that each time you do think about that, by the way, that everybody might want to know too that I can maybe use the coffee cup right here as an example right here, but like everybody might want to know too that it's I guess it's another example of what you call as the big picture, right? The big picture pretty much means as to where that yeah that the ingredients for that cup of coffee right here, that they the ingredients for that cup of coffee right here, that they are what you call like to where that the ingredients for that cup of coffee is it's yet to be provided. It's yet in the mix right there in that cup of coffee right there. So really, that every time you do hear that word not yet, or if it's yet soon to come, though, that a lot of times it sure seems that way. That what you're basically are saying is to where that yeah, it's there. It's right here. Yeah, the cup of coffee, all right, it's mixing right here. It's mixing right here, but the ingredients are right there, but it's not yet ready to be served. And so really, so every time you do think about that, by the way, it sure seems that way as to where that not yet does not mean nothing. It does not mean nothing, but it just means as to where that we are working on it. Things that you can see that may like yeah. So it's almost like if you've seen these cookbooks before, to where that with any source of cookbook in general, that you want to know too, is to where that whenever it comes to understanding about knowing about these beverages, right? And you want to know too, is to where okay, yeah, that whenever it comes to working on something that you're thinking as to where okay, yeah, that whenever it does come to understanding about something, and you want to know too that hey, that whenever something is not yet provided, that you're thinking as toward okay, what exactly does that mean in general? Well, it means as to where that yeah, that that you're still working on it. Okay, yeah, it's not ready. Like, yeah. So a lot of times it's like while you're working on something, somebody is waiting to be able to grade the work. Somebody is ready, so that way they can move on to the next steps or something like that. So if you're going to be working on anything for sure, that pretty much means is toward it. Somebody is waiting. I'm like, yeah, somebody is waiting for to be able to you go. I'm like, yeah, go to the next steps. We are close. And I guess like everybody might say, well, we are close, and then I can go ahead and just put on here, yeah, we are waiting right here, and we are waiting right here, and so yeah, so it's like so every time you do whenever it comes to elections and politics, though, and you probably want to know too, is that we are waiting right here. We are waiting. For for the order or something like that, and so it's like, yeah. So every time you do think about that in year 102, is to where that hasn't been used so many times to the point to where that somebody's 102. That do you even know what that means right there? Do you even know what it means right there? Because that whenever it comes to working on something, by the way, that somebody may say that, yeah, I have it, but it's not yet. It's not yet ready to be viewed or something like that. And so that's why it seems that way to where that to anybody who's maybe going to be thinking this to where, yeah, while you were working on something, that it has not yet, been released. But on the other hand, too, that, I'll let you know when it's ready or something. I'm like, yeah. So I guess there is different ways of how you want to cause this toward it. Yeah, there is a difference between you're working on getting the job done, and then compared to you really don't want to do some of the part of the job or something like that, or like everybody might say that there are ways of how to discover this toward it. You really don't want to make that cup of coffee, or yeah, you really don't like the way that the coffee was presented right here, or like everybody might even say too, that different ways of how you want to describe for not yet. It's not yet ready, or yeah, this cup of coffee right here, it's not yet. It's not ready yet, or something like that. It is not ready to be served just yet, or yeah, that there's going to be maybe for seconds or something like that, or maybe for the third, maybe for serving a third or for the fourth cup or something like that. So every time you do think about not yet right here, and you're thinking as toward, okay, yeah, not yet. Not yet pretty much means right here is as toward it, yeah, that information right there, yeah, this, it's there, it's coming soon. And a lot of times everybody may want to know too is to where not yet pretty much means right here is as to where that it is there, but it is not yet ready to be posted so where that everybody can see it right away. Not everybody, it's not available for copy right away or something like that. So that's why it seems that way to where that each time you think about that in year 102 is to where that, yeah, that how can you really even tell that somebody is not ready to show this just yet, is not ready to share this just yet, or to talk about this just yet, just because? But until they feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it, right? So that is why it seems that way to where that every time you do think about jobs, and maybe whenever it comes to applications or something like that, that not yet pretty much means is toward it. You're waiting for that moment, toward it. It's at the right time, at the right place, at the right time. But still, at the same time, that how do you think that you would respond toward any source of message such as is toward it? Do you have your homework done yet, or is this done yet, or something? So that's why it seems that way toward it. Do you necessarily think as toward it? Maybe Friday nights are usually the best time to get a good head start on the work in progress, and then you just give it 3 weeks or something like that, and you just know it's just toward, okay, do you have this done yet, or do you have that ready yet? And what sorts of answer do you think that anybody is going to maybe want to give whenever it comes to maybe fixing a cup of coffee, or if it's maybe going to be getting something ready or something like that, or anything like that. But still, but how do you think that everybody maybe want to know too is toward it that it is not yet ready, but it will be ready by the morning or something like that. So it's like, yeah, so a lot of times how do you even know if something is yet ready to be presented? And in case of anybody's want to know too, is toward yeah, they can actually see the work that you're doing. And I know, like everybody might even say too, that if you can actually watch somebody how they do something, especially if it's maybe fixing a cup of coffee, right? If you're going to be watching somebody fix a cup of coffee, for sure, that they'll probably tell you too that yeah, they would like to see you what you're doing right there. Show me how you're fixing that. How you're fixing the coffee right there. How you're serving the coffee. To make them feel a little bit more confident with the work that you're doing. And like everybody might even say too that every time you do think about that, by the way, in your 102, that why do you think that maybe anybody would want to watch you work for any reason at all? And they'll probably say is to where, well, because they want to learn a little bit about how you did it, and then on the other hand too, that they want to see is to where that do you think that maybe that it makes sense to where that somebody is watching you work just because they want to see the amount of work. They want to see the work in progress. Just know as to where, okay, yeah, is this ready yet, or are we done yet, or is this ready to be presented yet? And so that's why it seems that way. That almost any job that you're going to be doing, by the way, that somebody's going to maybe say is as to where that they would like to actually watch you, fix this cup of coffee. They would actually like to watch you work. They would like to watch you. Do this presentation just because, that they want to see the work that you're doing, and on the other hand, too, that they would like to know, too, if you're almost done, if it's yet to be served, if it's yet, to be ready. So that's why I think about, too, is to where that every time you do think about that, and you're 102, that, how do you even know if the coffee is hot, if it's ready to be served? And it's like, yeah, whenever you do see that right there is to where the coffee, and especially whenever you add the cream and all that, whenever you put that, add the cream and the flavoring right there, and you know about whenever the coffee is ready to be served. But still, that each time you do think about that, by the way, in your 102 is to where yeah, that how do you even know if you're ready, and how, and knowing about, yeah, you got a cup of coffee right here ready to be served, right? And people 102 is to where this right here, it is yet to be served. It is yet ready to be presented. It is yet ready to be ready to be published in the cookbook, like I said. So yeah, so every time you do think about that in your 102, yeah, it kind of reminds me of that job interview they used to have with the man, with that coworker they used to know. This right here, it is yet ready to be served. This is how I make the coffee right here. This is how I make this mix right here. And so yeah, so the way I think about it too is to where that, yeah, somebody watches you work as you fix a cup of coffee, and this is yet, it is not yet ready, but it will be, it'll be ready within the next few minutes. And so I just really think in a lot of ways too, everybody, that I think not yet, is another way of saying it, is to where that yeah, somebody is actually asking as to where they can actually watch you work, so that way they can know that how much work has been gotten done so far. So that way they can know as to where that, yeah, it is not yet ready, but it will be. And so, what words do you think that you should use whenever something's not ready yet? And just to know is as to where yeah, it is not ready yet, but it's soon. So really, how should you word that, by the way, in case if anybody's want to know too, as to where how should you word that, by the way, soon. And so you're thinking as to where, okay, yeah, soon. So it's soon. It's soon to be made available, and then yeah, soon, right here. So I'm like, yeah. But anyway, you talk about for not yet right here. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good day.